Yo guys, what is happening? Welcome back to the Straight Talk podcast.
What is happening, guys? Welcome back.
So we're back with another Piers Morgan video, but today we're more on the racial side of things. So, where do we stop Piers Morgan on slavery, reparations and apologising for history? What do you think to that title, bro? Should we be apologising for history?
You know this one's going to wind me up.
It's going to be a good one. Let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
Well, today is, of course, the 4th of July. It's a day that America celebrates because they booted we British out, our monarchy out, our mad King George dropped the ball. Otherwise, I would possibly be King Piers right now of the United States of America. So we don't obviously celebrate it with quite such enthusiasm over this side of the pond. But amid the hot dogs and fireworks, even this day of patriotic celebration in the States has become divisive. There's a growing trend for black Americans to celebrate Juneteenth as an alternative to July 4th. Veteran Congresswoman Maxine Waters in 2021 claimed the Declaration of Independence wasn't for equality and it was only for white men. Her comments were echoed by a fellow Democrat, Cori Bush, who said black people still aren't free. So is there something...
Black people still aren't free, but yet look at me in this freeing position of power with this fantastic job and this beautiful house and these beautiful cars and this beautiful opportunity.
I'm sorry we didn't see any black people with nice things anymore, do we?
Honestly, they literally go on
of shit.
Like you still see black people with
On
straw
streets,
hats,
yeah.
with straws out, with dungarees, like the
Being traded on streets.
or like they've just got
like-
horses and they ain't got the newest technology like white people. It's pathetic. We're not free. Put TV on. See 50% of black people on there. Looks pretty free to me.
Like you said, even some job opportunities are black only.
Yeah.
Which is very racist, I think.
Of course it is.
So,
All this, should these national institutions and occasions be opportunities for reflection and apology rather than celebration? Well, joining me now is best-selling author of The War on the West and Conservative commentator Douglas Murray, country music legend Lee Greenwood, and my Talk TV contributor Paula Rowan-Adrian, and Talk TV presenter Richard Tice. All right, well, a stellar
Which he's now the mayor of Skegness and somewhere
Really?
else, yeah.
okay.
panel. Douglas, let me start with you. You read a great piece this week for The Telegraph about this weird trend. I agree with you. I think it's weird, where we're being compelled to just apologise constantly for everything that happened in the past. Why are we doing this?
That's right. It's a very strange act of masochism, really, and an act of masochism carried out by people who don't seem to know anything. I mean, people talk about the British monarchy having to apologise for slavery. It was King George III who signed the Anti-Slavery Act into law in 1807. Prince Albert gave one of the most extraordinary anti-slavery...
Yeah, he's saying that it's actually the white people who actually abolished it.
Yeah.
You know, it were the white people back in the day who actually did apologise and they stopped it all. You know, how long ago was this, bro? 300 years ago?
300 years ago.
Dresses when the British were still policing the anti-slave trade on the high seas in 1840 to the Anti-Slavery League in London. All of this was addressed 200 years ago. And today, unfortunately, there's a kind of new type of malcontent, and usually also a huckster to boot, who just decides that none of this happened. Usually it's because they don't know it happened. And as a result, they look at our history, at everything in our country, right up to just, innocent pastimes like cricket, and they decide to name everything as guilty. And, you could do this to everyone and to everything, but most civilizations and cultures don't behave like this because most of them aren't just masochistic and so self-hating.
All right, Paula, your response to that?
I actually agree with Douglas about the fact that we don't know enough. He's absolutely right. We don't know enough.
We know enough.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to the slavery bullcrap anymore. We know enough.
I heard about it in school. I heard about it everywhere. Online.
You hear about it off
books.
If like, I don't know if you knock around with any black people apart from me and obviously your family members, but if you did, you'd hear about it off them. You hear about it all the time. And as Bill Burr said, they're starting to run out of white guilt. Honestly, they really don't give a shit anymore.
No.
It's got nothing to do with the white people today. It's got nothing to do with my side of my white part. What do? Slap this side. and then ask for an apology off the other side because I'm half and half. It's ridiculous. No one gives a crap about slavery anymore or about slavery in the past because it's in the past.
It's done.
The slavery today
It's been and gone.
should be the main topic of conversation, which we all give a crap about today. The slavery that's going on today, which black people are enslaving their own black people.
And they say, we're racist.
Yeah.
Black people are the most racist people to each other.
But as regards to the African slave trade, it's done, dusted. No one were alive today that suffered the pain. White people don't give a crap.
We should be apologising for that shit.
They shouldn't be apologising, but if they're going
My
to say that...
great granddad weren't even born, bro, when that were happening, so why should I have to apologise?
And if they say that, you're deemed as racist. You're deemed as racist because white people don't give a shit about it anymore. Well, it's the truth. It is the truth.
Why should we have to care? You know,
We shouldn't.
We have bigger problems going on in our own lives. Never mind having to worry about something that happened to someone 300 years ago.
For me, I find it impossible to care about something that were, like you said, 200 or 300 years ago. How the hell can you care about something that's been and gone?
Yeah.
Important that we do. But part of the knowledge is also understanding the hurt and pain that were caused, not just about the good things. It's not just about the cherry picking. And wrongs are not about being masochistic. Saying sorry is not a bad thing. Saying sorry is actually a very...
It's pointless, though. She's about to say it's empowering, but it's not. It's pointless. You know, what's a king saying sorry to people? A king saying sorry about something that happened 300 years ago, why is it changing anything?
Yeah.
You know, it's not changing anything. It's not helping anyone.
It's just making him look guilty for something that he just didn't even do.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I like that point. Well, I don't like the point, but she, like you said, she's going to say that saying sorry empowers you. Well, that's a totally fair comment to some things, but maybe not to this. Why on earth would it empower white people today to say sorry for what happened 300 years ago? Why? They just feel stupid saying it.
What a joke.
It's ridiculous.
What a joke.
empowering thing to do.
Why does it matter that a bunch of royals now get forced into issuing grovelling apology? Who cares? How does it change anything? It doesn't do anything, in my estimation, to impact on current slavery where it exists around the world. It doesn't really make any difference to institutional racism, as we've seen in certain parts of society. I don't know what difference it makes. It might make people feel a bit better to see a royal grovelling, but so what?
See, I don't agree with you, surprise, surprise. I do think it makes a difference. I do think it makes a difference that people in power are heard to acknowledge pain and hurt. I do think it's important that people in power have taken the time.
Whose pain and hurt are you talking about? It's not people living today. These are going back hundreds of years in some cases, these crimes of slavery and so on. We all agree it was outrageous. It's been debated, really year after year after year. We all know this. I don't think that people have a lack of knowledge. And I'm not quite sure where the apology talk ends. What's the end game here?
So the end game is about the ability to understand the true history, not just the part of history that we have been taught. And that is the difficulty. So you're talking about who's...
Save that for the historians, because no one gives a shit about the history.
Save that for me granddad.
Yeah, like, you're doomed to repeat the past if you don't learn from your history and learn from your mistakes and all that shit. It's like, no. I'm sorry, but those wise words that you're trying to spill out, just you can't just turn around and say no to them. No, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that, and I don't believe that. And that's not necessarily the case here. Don't come out with all these, the history this, the history that, we're doomed to repeat it, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. No, we're not. No, we're not going to go back to slavery days. Oh,
and
wait a minute.
And if we do, it's going to be it's going to be black people enslaving the white people at this point.
And wait a minute, there is slavery going on today, so instead of telling us...
Focusing on that. Focus on the current
situation. Focus on the history, focus on the current situation, and get you sent to Africa.
It just shows that they're just in it for the in it for the money.
They're in it for the money, bro, because they ain't asking for reparations for any other race.
I don't see Jews asking for reparations for their ancestors who got killed in Holocaust.
They've all got a claim to reparations. You have, I have, everyone has. Every single race on the planet Earth has got a case for reparations and has got a claim for it. But surprise, surprise, It's the black people that want the money.
Yeah. They can't get
You know
over
what I
it, bro.
mean? They want the money.
They can't let go. Let it go. Let it go.
Apology for? Well, the apology is for me. The apology is for those who have suffered. The apology is for those who continue to.
Why would someone apologise to you? You're a lawyer in London. You're fucking more wealthy than 99% of people in UK. Why would someone apologise to you? Hey,
She's got it good, man. She's got it good.
do you know, she's benefited and profited from the slave trade. It's not made her situation worse, it's made her situation better.
White people have made her situation better.
Yeah.
You know,
You were only here probably because of what went down. Or maybe your mum come over on Windrush or something like that. But at the same time, you're black and you're in this predominant white country.
And you're very blessed. You know, she's very, very lucky.
The apologies for me.
job.
Get the fuck
Yeah, I
out
know,
of
I'm
here.
gonna say
You
that's
chat
silly,
so
that.
much shit. This is why people don't give a shit about slavery.
Through colonialism and through slavery. And I do think that it's important that royalty are coming forward and saying, we apologise for the part that we
All right,
played.
so is that it? Is that enough? When is enough enough? If we all say sorry to
ask,
hang on.
the British government, when is enough enough? To repay, to compensate slave owners.
So if we all say sorry
when is
today,
enough?
well, that's my question to you, and you're not answering it.
Well, when
my point is,
reparations
if
are
we
made
all
for
say
good.
if we all say sorry today, it was terrible, which we all know.
Yeah.
Can we then say, right, that's done. We're going to look forwards. We're going to be
Yes.
positive. We're going to
Yes.
celebrate our
You're
achievements.
saying, yeah, but then you're like, oh, we need compensation.
Honestly, it's such an... It makes me... The part of me that is half brown makes me ashamed sometimes because they constantly use the colour of your skin. Even someone as successful as her
Excuse.
is using the colour of her skin to say that this is why black people aren't doing so well. Black males are more likely to leave the kids other than more than white people. There's so many factors that come into play on reason why black people in America are doing so bad. Part of it's because often they're in gangs. The kids go to gangs because the fathers have left. The high number, I can't remember what number it is, but it's like 5 times, 6 times more higher that black guys leave the kids and don't ever see them again, more than it is white guys. You know, and these reasons why they're failing, it's not because, the guy in a book here that I possibly might share similar blood to, he got enslaved 300 years ago.
They're kind of failing their own race, aren't they?
It's crazy.
Like, if you're going to leave your son, then what do you expect? Would you expect him to just... They're going to be coming in gangs, and when gang war starts, that's when racism goes out around, and then they start killing each other.
They're not being
They're
taught
racist to
accountability,
each other.
and then that black kid's growing up thinking, wait a minute, white people enslaved us, you owe us something, and this is the reason why we're doing bad. Aye.
A lot of shite.
Our failures,
Absolutely.
and we're done with apologising.
Absolutely. And so how are we going to learn from our failures if we do not understand what we did wrong?
You
We
learn from your
understand what
failures
we did
because that's what we're doing at
Well,
the
not
moment.
what we
The
did wrong, what they did wrong.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But alright.
report
How
you
do
had
you
from
learn from your failures if you don't know what you did wrong? If you refuse to accept that you did wrong?
Because the cricket board, the ECB, they've just produced a report. They've reported. Some of it was good. Some of it you can criticise or question. The point is, we've learned from that. We're moving on. We're celebrating. We're being positive. Otherwise,
How have we learned
I tell you
from
what
the
it
report?
does.
How have we
It
learned from it,
depresses
Richard?
everybody. It leads to a
Well, actually,
perception of decline.
I agree with that. I think what it does, I want to bring in Lee Greenman
she's
here,
so
who's
patronising, bro, honestly.
She's not as bad as Amman, but she is bad.
a big country star in America, and he wrote God Bless the USA, one of the great anthems celebrating the United States. It's July 4th. Obviously, as I said at the start here, Lee, we don't celebrate it with quite such enthusiasm this side of the pond. We sort of take a view that Mad King George dropped the ball a bit, but I'm happy for my American friends that you have this day to celebrate. You wrote this great anthem, really, for your country. Can we be proud of our country anymore? Or is this kind of this desire to feel this terrible regret about everything and apology for everything? Does that mar the pride? How do you feel?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say the people that I run with and talk to, and believe me, I tour across America all the time. We do 140, 50 days a year, every doghouse, outhouse, and roundhouse. And I talk to the American public. They listen to what I say, listen to what I sing. I happen to be a country music performer, but I was born in California, spent 20 years in Nevada. I live in the South now. And I wrote this song because it was for unity. It's a unity and for military sacrifice. And yeah, America started as an interesting expedition and then an experiment, and we fought it out. We fought each other in the Civil War and said, okay, we're going to bury the hatchet here. The trouble is, as we move forward, a lot of people try to change history. I'm okay with history. I'm okay with apologizing for what happened back then. But I agree with you, that was back then. Let's move forward. Let's move on past that, and let's not change history and try to change what happened.
Yeah, I completely agree. Douglas, the problem is we've forgotten how to be genuinely proud.